When a friend recommends an anime, it could be pretty tough. You want to be a good friend and watch the random show they recommended, but then you end up actually watching it, and then you say to yourself, what the hell is this? You start asking yourself questions like, why did they think I would like this? And if you're like me, you watch it the whole way through and just argue with your friend about what's so good or bad about it. This happened to me recently with the anime Frieren Beyond Journey's End. The hype behind the show was impossible to deny, and the premise looked like another fun medieval-style fantasy following this cool-looking elf. But the anime was not at all what I expected. After the first episode, I thought Frieren Beyond Journey's End was going to be this basic fantasy story with not a lot going on. And why would I watch something like that when I have The Lord of the Rings, Dark Souls, and Berserk? And my friend and fellow content creator Weebjail recommended this to me, and I was surprised. I'm not a fan of animes like this. I like to watch big beefcake men pound each other. Oh boy, I thought that was gonna sound different when I wrote it. But Weebjail is a smart and creative guy, and he understands anime well, so I had to give it a chance. And I slowly learned that Frieren talks about something very different than any of those fantastic stories, and it taught me that I may be missing something in my own journey as a content creator, and that I may be a jackass. A few weeks ago, Weebjail and I were talking, and he told me to give Frieren a watch.
No, Pat, you need to watch it because it's boring. No, I can explain.
The Weebjail channel is an amazing and hilarious dive into anime, so I trusted him that I would like the anime. When I started watching the series, I was just waiting for the big action sequence that would set the tone for the series, and it just didn't show up. What's different from most stories like this is that Frieren takes place after the long adventures and grand battles. The first episode is literally her and her crew being celebrated for returning home and saving the day. We only get glimpses of this journey through small flashbacks. And so I thought, wow, what a unique twist. Now they'll deal with their victory and go right into another battle. And I couldn't have been more wrong. The second episode jumps many years later, and Frieren looks exactly the same, but all of her companions are older and close to death. Turns out elves age much slower than humans, and the 10-year journey they all went on felt like merely a month to Frieren. At her best friend's funeral, she realizes that after spending 10 years together, she barely knew him. She doesn't cry as she stands by the casket, and the townspeople judge her, accusing her of not being a real friend. She is seen as a cold person, and that's even referenced in her name. The word Frieren is a German verb that means to be or to feel cold, and the character isn't this over-the-top, iced-out blue ice mage that we would find totally cool in any other media. I'm really just picturing Frostine from Candyland. Is that still a thing? Is that board game still holding it down? Anyway, she starts on a new journey and tries to reconnect with old friends and ends up taking along two of their apprentices, Fern and Stark. As her flashbacks of the journey show, she was never mentally present for it. Now she makes a better effort of connecting with friends and takes them to places she visited to meet the people she met long ago, or their offspring. These people usually scold her for not visiting her when she agreed, or their grandchild tells them that Frieren's friend died many years ago. She keeps getting reminded that she glanced over the 10 years that meant so much, and that she needs to begin living in the present and taking her time to drink it all in. And her process of taking it easy and being present really makes the pacing of this story more unique. It's very slow, not a lot happens, and you can argue it's just boring. A day to her is not the same as a day to us. She takes things so slow and studies meaningless spells while the world around her moves so quickly. The pacing of the anime makes you understand that mundane passage of time, and we feel like Fern and Stark just waiting for her to get up and do something. But that's the beautiful irony of this show. Frieren lived fast and missed 10 years of friendship right in front of her. Now she takes every day moment by moment, and the humans criticizing her should be doing the same thing, especially because their life is much shorter. And Frieren does do some badass stuff, showing off her magic skills and obliterating demons with some cold-blooded moves, but she spends a lot more time focusing on friendships as her and her friends journey to find the Demon King. I kept forgetting that that was the point of the journey, because the journey takes her to meet various different peoples that all have a story. Granted, they are usually just a humdrum slice-of-life story. She attends, for lack of a better word, a mage competition and is forced to team up with random people, but she ends up learning about them and helping them, while Fern on her team is focused on fighting and getting the task done. And as the show went on, I realized that I was missing something, and it wasn't the unique anime that I was watching. I really wasn't appreciating the friends that I made in my own journey. While I was watching the series, a memory popped up on Facebook that I posted in February of 2022 that my YouTube channel had 101 subscribers. I remembered the sheer excitement of that day. The idea that over 100 people wanted to see something I made was exhilarating. That enthusiasm never went away. Every single like, comment, Discord member, subscriber, and just view is so exciting to see the numbers increase. But those numbers are human beings. So I started to reflect on my journey since that 101. Wires Don't Talk has had a lot of updates and changes from when it was first formed in 2019. It was supposed to be a rock band with my friend Mark. We spent countless hours together because we did everything ourselves for our album, like the writing, the recording, the mixing, and the mastering. We made YouTube videos hoping to promote our music. We tried everything to reach a following, and it didn't really work. Mark decided to move to a new state for his career, and Wires Don't Talk could have ended right there. But this YouTube stuff was fun. The thing that this origin story doesn't tell you is that Mark never stopped being part of my journey. We FaceTime every single week, and this isn't a check-in to see how we're doing. We do this. That wasn't a bit, by the way. We do that all the time. We've even done that in public and people are concerned. And since I started taking YouTube more seriously, I began connecting with more and more people, and I even noticed that people from my past were rooting for me. After my Tekken video, a lot of new people joined my Discord to play together, and I found myself spending late nights getting demolished in Tekken 8, but also making real connections as we fought the night away. The friends I grew up with, though they don't watch anime or read manga, they'll still text me to tell me how much they enjoyed a video or congratulate me when a video does well. I have read comments that have cheered me on with kind words and comments that keep the anime conversation going, offering different opinions and insights into my favorite shows. My fellow content creator friends like Q and Ryan have been a constant ear to my creative slumps and have offered so much advice to help tackle this YouTube beast that can make it really tough for new creators to get in front of the right audience. My family always supported my creative ventures, and when Wires Don't Talk stopped being a rock band, it was my father who said, and I quote, "I would be really good on one of those TikTok shows." And though he probably has no idea what I'm doing, his continued support led to a huge reason why I can make these videos, because together we built this very studio that I work in every single day. And the one that really came to mind was Weeb Jail. Long before he recommended this anime, he has always been there to help with YouTube thumbnails, scripts, video ideas, and just some good laughs. We only met because I commented on his WaniKani review video because I just started learning Japanese, and I could just tell that this guy was a creator that was going to do impressive things. Fast forward to now, we have become just genuine friends and always find time to talk, even though he is all the way across the globe in Japan. He was actually the first friend that I told about my wife and I expecting our first child. His response though was a shocked, "Oh shit," and I had to remind him that normal people just say congratulations, but if you've seen his channel, then that reaction makes perfect sense. It was his recommendation to watch this anime, and though honestly, Frieren wasn't my favorite given my typical anime preferences, it created a new way to connect with a friend. Talking about the highs of the series and debating on what made a scene good or bad was fun, and made for some funny memories and friendly debates.
I just don't understand.
Oh my
It is
God,
just
oh my God,
boring.
Pat,
No,
no,
it's just
it's
boring. You
boring.
could cut out like 4
And
episodes
that's
of
why
what
it's
happens in
amazing.
them.
No,
What
no,
are you
Pat,
watching
you're-
it for?
you're- Pat,
I
you're
understand.
upset.
I understand.
You're upset.
And hopefully it still continues in the comments and the Wires Don't Talk Discord. Frieren stays clear of the generic tropes of animes filled with action and violence. It doesn't fill its anime with quirky and raunchy jokes. It doesn't over-sexualize its characters to try and get you to watch. Instead, the show offers a slice of life in a fantasy world that tells you to take a moment to cherish the people you've met. Because much like her friend the priest discusses, good friends over the years will remember you and they keep these journeys alive in our minds forever. Frieren Beyond Journey's End is the anime equivalent to the old saying, the friends we made along the way. And as I reflected on my YouTube journey, I realized that I couldn't have accomplished anything without my friends both old and new. And I'm so thankful that this anime reminded me of all the advice, the kindness, and just the laughs that they've shown me as I followed my passion. Frieren isn't an anime for everybody. It doesn't give what a lot of people want, but it does give a powerful message that in this day and age, we all need to hear. We need to live in the moment with all those companions around us, whether they are friends from childhood, family, new friends that become team members, or just internet pen pals, and realize how much they mean to us before it's too late. Because when we do that, much like Frieren, we can live on for a very long time. And one thing I didn't mention given my music background was the great soundtrack, especially with its influences from Celtic and European folk music. So I decided to give that a full listen, so make sure you subscribe to see that live, or you can check out the replay right here.